This is a story about Moses and a fiery plant. Moses lived a very long time ago. Although Moses had been born an Israelite, he was brought up in the palace of Pharaoh because his mother had been careful enough to keep him hidden until he was found by a princess. But that's another story. As an adult, Moses went outside of his house in the palace of Pharaoh one day and saw the Israelite people being made to work extremely hard under the Egyptians. One of the Egyptian slave drivers was being much more aggressive, and he was beating up one of the Israelites. Moses could not stand this attack on one of his own people. After looking all around to check no one else was about, Moses attacked the Egyptian and killed him, then buried him in the sand. The next day, Moses was out again when he saw two Israelites fighting each other. So he stepped in and asked, "Why are you fighting your fellow Israelite?" He wasn't expecting the answer he got. "Who made you a ruler over us? Who made you a judge? Are you going to kill us too, like you did the Egyptian?" Moses was afraid that his action had been found out, and afraid that more people knew that he had killed the Egyptian. Of course, Pharaoh found out about it, and in turn wanted to have Moses killed. Moses had no choice but to run away. He ran to Midian, where he lived for a time. While he was living in Midian, he married a local girl, and they had children. During that time, the Pharaoh had died, and another king had taken his place. But the Israelite people were still working for the Egyptians as slaves, and they were still being treated badly. Their cries for help were heard by God, as God was always concerned for them, his special people. One day, Moses was out looking after his father-in-law's flocks in the wilderness. Eventually, they came to Mount Horeb, the mountain of God, where Moses saw an amazing thing. There was a bush. It was burning, but it did not burn up completely. "Wow, that's amazing," thought Moses. "I've never seen anything like it. It looks as though the bush is on fire, there are flames, but it doesn't seem to be burning it up completely. That's really strange. I should go and investigate." Moses went nearer to the bush. "Moses," said a voice, "Moses." It came from the bush that was burning, from the flames that were dancing in it. Yes, here I am," said Moses, who really didn't know what was going on, or what to think, or what to say. "Okay, stay where you are," said the bush. Actually, it was God, or the angel of the Lord as God, in the flames and the burning. "Don't come any closer," said God. "In fact, take off your sandals. You are standing on my holy ground." Okay, said Moses, who wasn't sure at all. But he took off his sandals and covered his face, because at that time people believed they would die if they saw God. "I am God," said God, "the God of your ancestors, of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob." Now Moses was really worried, because this kind of thing didn't happen every day. "I have heard my people," said God. "They have cried to me because they are having to work so very hard as slaves for the Egyptians who don't treat them well. So I am going to rescue my people. I am going to take them from Egypt to a land that is far better, where other people are living, in a land that is fertile and pleasant. And you are going to go to Pharaoh and rescue my people out of Egypt." "What? Me? Why me?" said Moses. "Who am I? I can't do that. I can't just walk up to Pharaoh and tell him I'm taking all the Israelite slaves away." "Oh, but you can," said God, "because I will be with you. Not only that, once you have brought the Israelites out of Egypt, you will all come here to worship me right here on this mountain." "Well, okay," said Moses, But what if I do go to the Israelite people and I say to them, God, the God of our ancestors, has sent me? And they say, who is this God? Then what do I say? Well, said God, I am who I am. So if they ask, tell them I am has sent me. In fact, go to the Israelites. Tell them the Lord, the God of your ancestors, of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name. It always has been, and it always will be. Now go. Talk to the elders of the people. Tell them what has happened, that I have appeared to you because I have seen the suffering of my people. And now I have promised to bring my people out of their misery, out of Egypt, to a land that is far better. Don't worry, the elders will listen to you. Then go with the elders to the Pharaoh. Tell him, the Lord, the God of the Israelites, has met with us. We need to take a 3-day journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to our Lord God. Now I know that Pharaoh won't let you go easily, but don't worry about that. I'm going to make sure Pharaoh knows what he's up against, and I'll demonstrate my power. And then, once I've demonstrated my power, he will definitely let you go. Not only that, but I will make the Israelite people popular in their communities in Egypt, and they will be given presents of gold and silver and fine clothes by their neighbours, all sorts of useful and expensive gifts. And in this way, you will take away their wealth, all the good and valuable things from Egypt. But Moses still wasn't totally convinced he could do this. No one will believe me, said Moses. And even if they do listen to me, they won't believe that I've seen God. That's just too much. Okay, said God, getting a bit fed up with Moses. What are you carrying in your hand? Asked God. Moses replied, my staff, my walking stick. Everyone has one. Throw it on the ground, said God. Moses did as he was commanded. He threw his stick on the ground. Immediately it began writhing around as it had become a snake. Moses was afraid of the snake, but God said, okay, Moses, grab it by the tail. Moses was very afraid by now, but reached out and took hold of the snake by the tail, and immediately it became his stick again, just as it was before. Now, said God, this will demonstrate to anyone that they should believe in God, and that he has appeared to you. Just in case you are not convinced, let's try one more thing. Put your hand inside of your cloak and then take it out again. Moses put his hand inside his cloak, but when he took it out, it was covered in leprosy. Now put your hand back inside your cloak and it will go away, said God. Moses put his hand covered in leprosy back inside his cloak. Then he took it out again, and it was totally normal once more. Right, said God. I have given you 2 signs to demonstrate my power to people who do not believe you or listen to you. Moses was becoming convinced, but was aware of his own limitations. Oh God, I'm really sorry, he said. But I'm rubbish at speaking to people in public. I just dry up. I don't know what to say. It's embarrassing. I'm not the person to speak for you. Who gave you a mouth, said God? Who makes people deaf or mute? It's me. I am the Lord and have power over these things. I will teach you how to speak and tell you what to say. Oh God, no, said Moses, I can't do it. Please send someone else. At which point, God became more than a little annoyed with Moses and his whining. Right, said God. You have a brother Aaron. He's a Levite, a priest. He's used to speaking in public, and people will listen to him too. He's on his way. Explain everything to him, then he can speak to the people. I will be with both of you. You will work as a team. I speak to you, you speak to Aaron, Aaron speaks to the people. Now, off you go. Get back to your father-in-law and explain things to him. He will give you his blessing. Then take your wife and children and go to Egypt. But don't forget your staff, your walking stick. I think you're going to need it.